Good afternoon and a warm welcome to your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism, the Joy News channel. My name is Mapita CBD. Coming up, bodies of two toddlers aged 2 and 4 years found floating in a tank at a construction site in Ejusu. We have details. Also, West Africa Examination Council fights back Education Watch reports detailing serious leakages of exam papers and the just ended West Africa Senior Secondary School Certificates examination. More as the council insists the schools named by Education Watch are not on WIAC's list. Also,
we address the issue of foods and nutrition paper 3 and have done so on several occasions. And we find it baffling that Mr. Kofi Asare continues to refer to this paper as having leaked, when he was the very person that forwarded the fake paper to us.
Also, Sanitation Minister advocates no Loo No marriage strategy as done by India in dealing with open defecation in Ghana. More from the 32 Wale Wash conference.
Young lady getting married or engaged, and the young man has no toilet in his home. Don't agree. We all know the individual responsibilities and also responsibilities of our civil society.
Also, some fuel stations adjust price of petroleum products upwards, with Total Ghana pegging a litre of petrol at 6 cedis and 90 pesos this morning. We bring reactions from the public and also get a sense of the situation in other countries. This is News Today. We have these including business, sports, world news and showbiz all in this hour. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel Atto. You can catch up with all the fun and inspiration on the Joy Sports link here on Joy 99.7 FM, together with all other shows over and over again. It's very simple. All you need to do is go to myjoyonline.com/podcast and relive all of those fun moments over and over again. Joy 99.7 FM, your radio for discerning listeners.
Joy 99.7.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, in our first story, the bodies of two toddlers have been found floating in a concrete water tank for construction in the Ejusu municipality of the Ashanti region. The two, namely Lukman and Blessing, who are 4 and 2 respectively, went missing in the early hours of Thursday after they were sighted playing in their compound. Efforts to find them proved futile. Now, it took a hawker who was on her daily activities to find the two floating in the tank on a construction site 2 blocks from their compound. Unit Committee member Seth Boache Dankwa spoke to Love News. Still on the story, bodies of the deceased have been deposited at the Emina Hospital as police commence investigations. My colleague Nanaya will join us later in the bulletin to give us an update of that story. Away from that, the West African Examination Council has rejected suggestions that breaking their monopoly in the conduct of examination would bring to a halt the annual exam paper leakages. According to the Public Relations Officer of WIAC, Madam Agnes Kujo, argues that the exams body has what it takes to conduct credible exams across the country. At a press conference to address issues captured in the EduWatch WASE monitoring report, she observed that the council has rolled out measures in dealing with the exams leakage.
EduWatch report speaks about some papers that he purports to have leaked. And we wish to state that the reports claim that a total of 11 papers leaked during the examination. First of all, the term leaked or leakage as applied to examinations conducted by the council is a question of law and facts. Now to some specifics. 1. Foods and Nutrition Paper 3. This is one of the papers that EduWatch claimed leaked. And for those of you who were here when we had our first update, we addressed the issue of Foods and Nutrition Paper 3 and have done so on several occasions. And we find it baffling that Mr. Kofi Asare continues to refer to this paper as having leaked, when he was the very person that forwarded the fake paper to us. One wonders why Mr. Kofi Asare would send false information when he had the actual. 2. English Language 2 and Mathematics Elective 2. In the case of these two papers, the office had indicated in its second update that was addressed by the head of test administration, held on 23rd August 2021, that after scrutiny of the several versions received, we detected that extracts of the questions were included in the versions that had been received earlier by our monitoring team from various social media platforms and Telegram channels. So we invited you here to a press briefing on the 23rd of August, and we indicated that we had detected that extracts of the questions for these two papers, that is English Language 2 and Mathematics Elective 2, were included in versions that were received by our monitoring team from various social media platforms. We also indicated that WAEC was going to deploy various internationally accepted assessment procedures and interventions to ensure credibility of the results for those papers. The Council Security tracked and arrested Jerusalema, that his real name is Godfrey Darko, the source of the handwritten questions for Mathematics Elective 2, and handed him over to the police. Investigations are ongoing. So we just want to state that the issue that Edward raised about English Language 2 and Mathematics Elective 2 have already been addressed by WAEC.
My colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson joins us on the line. Now, Parker, there were specific issues WAEC also addressed. Let's start with the schools captured in the EduWatch reports.
Well, so, Mapito, to know that about 50 schools were captured in the EduWatch report. Now, out of the 50 schools, we are told that 3 of them did not subscribe to the 2021 WASI examination. And so it is preposterous misleading that EduWatch would say that the 3 schools were also part of their monitoring because those schools did not participate in the exam. So the question is, if they did not participate in the exam, then why did EduWatch capture them in their report? So there's a bit of a problem with the report put together by EduWatch. And so WAEC is asking them to provide some clarity because the list that they have, those 3 schools are not part of the list. And this is include the Kekam Senior Technical Schools, Bipomine Senior High School, and Enyinasi Senior High School.
Now, Parker, she also responded to the claim that the chemistry paper was leaked. Tell us about that.
Well, so according to the Public Relations Officer, Madam Agnesta Kujo, those papers did not leak. Now, the explanation she provided was that if you say a paper leaked, what it means is that the paper leaked hours before the exam. But in this case, what they saw was that individuals are taking snapshots of portions of the paper.
Okay.
So, and these are composite papers where you have section A and B the same. So while they're working on section A, somebody can take a snapshot of section B and send it across. So those were the things that they saw, and that does not constitute leakage if you're looking at their technicality and the processes that it goes through. WAEC believes that that does not constitute a leakage, and so it finds it very problematic that EduWatch will say those papers leaked. Again, EduWatch indicated that about 11 papers in total leaked. WAEC says that is not true. They don't have a number to the leakage of the papers. However, they believe that there were few excepts that leaked and not necessarily about 5, 3, or 4 papers that leaked on their part.
All right. Thank you so much. That is Parker Kwesi Wilson giving us an update of that presser. But away from that, this morning, petroleum consumers are up in arms, urging governments to stem what they say is a worrying trend: hikes in fuel prices. Some oil marketing companies last night increased the price of a litre of fuel to 6 cedis, 90 pesos. Now, the oil marketing companies say the adjustment is as a result of rising crude prices on the international market. Now, this is the second time in less than 3 weeks that the prices have gone up. Now, some consumers have been sharing their frustration. Let's listen to them.
As a Ghanaian or as an ordinary citizen, I don't know what goes into the decision to increase or decrease fuel, right? But anything that affects my spending, that increases my spending, I have a problem with it. Personally, maybe, for people like me, no matter what the increases are, we are able to purchase the fuel. But what about the masses? We have people in this country that even if a fare is increased by a peso, they find it difficult to pay. So if the government can do something about the price increment, at least delay some of it, or even do away with the increments, like it will be better for us all.
As for the increase of the fuel, dear mommy, as I'm talking now, it has worried me from day one, and it is worrying me from now. It is worrying me because at first I was buying 60 cedis. I use the 60 cedis and close work back. As for now, I'm buying 1.5, which is 150 cedis. Mommy, no, it's not easy. I just want to stop the taxi work and just find some company. As for company where I'm not buying any fuel, so it won't cost me much. So as for a taxi there, because of the fuel, I just want to stop.
It's affected me heavily because I run a fleet of vehicles. And those prices, the price going up day in, day out, it's really affecting us. We cannot kind of emphasize the need for the government to come in and subsidize on that, because currently all our vehicles are packed. When the price of fuel goes up, it means that every single thing in the value chain would have to go up.
The increment in fuel there, it's not good. It's not good at all, because just last week, fuel was 60, 80 pesos, and just this week, 60, 90 pesos. We don't know, maybe by the end of this year, fuel might reach 80 or so, I don't know. And we, the motorists, we are suffering. Because every day increment, we can't even work in peace.
Oh, I could say before I used to buy 200 cedis for a week. For now, I'm buying 350 for a week. Even 3 days, I have to buy another fuel again. Without AC, I need to, even 200 cedis won't even reach to a week. So now I buy more than 100% than before I used to.
So that's what we gathered this morning on the streets of Accra. But what's the nature of pricing in neighboring countries and elsewhere beyond Ghana? Let's find out. All right, so the diesel prices from November 1st, 2021, 1 litre in Ghana cedis. So let's go to Ethiopia. So it's 2 cedis and 3 pesos in Ethiopia for a litre. If we go to Egypt, we have 2 cedis, 5 pesos for a litre. But let's come to Ghana. Okay, to our neighboring country, Nigeria, it's 3 cedis and 70 pesos for a litre. But let's see if we can find Ghana on this. As you can see, Ghana is quite at the bottom, so it is quite costly. USA 5 cedis, 80 pesos. Cuba 6 cedis, 80. Cuba 6 pesos, 6 cedis, I beg your pardon. But let's go to Ghana, and Ghana is sitting comfortably here, 6 cedis, 60 pesos. But as we know right now that it is sitting at 6 cedis and 90 pesos. If we go to China, it's 6 cedis, 80 pesos. Let's go to the most expensive country, which is Hong Kong. And Hong Kong is sitting at about 15 cedis per my last check. Okay, so it's 13 cedis and 70 pesos there. So that is the most expensive fuel price per litre. Now let's go back to our earlier story where the bodies of 2 toddlers have been found floating in a concrete water tank for construction in the Ijusu municipality of the Ashanti region. The 2, namely Lukman and Blessing, who are 4 and 2 respectively, went missing in the early hours of Thursday after they were sighted playing in their compound. Efforts to find them proved fatal. Now, it took a hawker who was on her daily activities to find the 2 floating in the tank on a construction site 2 blocks from their compound. Nanao Jima joins me with more. Nanao, tell us more about the story.
So what we've been able to gather is that these 2 children were, as usual, were playing within their compound. The parents lost sight of them. And after some hours, they started search to find these 2 children, and the search yielded no positive result. So they continued to tell people around about these 2 children, and they being unable to find them So it took one lady who is used to the area, she is a hawker, to find these 2 children floating on in a pond or in a concrete tank that is located within the area. And this concrete tank, I learned, is being used for construction in one of the new homes being built within the vicinity. The house under construction we are talking about here sites 2 blocks away from the home of these children.
Okay.
So it is suspected that these children were playing and found themselves there. But as to how they got into that tank is what the police are now investigating, and the police have assured that they will conduct full-scale investigation into the issue and find how exactly this happened. So far, there is no indication that either the police or the families are suspecting foul play, but the police continue to investigate the matter and unravel the mystery behind the demise of these 2 children.
All right, Nana, I just want you to paint a quick picture for me. The construction site, is there a wall around it, or it's an open construction site?
Okay, so we are talking about it's half-walled, but it's easy to get access into the area.
Okay.
So it's believed that these children found their way in there due to the somehow open nature of this area.
And have the police maybe spoken to the construction site owner?
Yes, he has been invited. Immediately the incident happened, the unit committee members or the assembly members called him to the site.
Okay.
So the police took over investigation from there.
All right. That is my colleague Nanaya Ojima giving us an update of the Ejisu missing toddlers. Now, police in the Northeast region have arrested 12 suspects in connection with the abuse and extortion of some 20 women over a witchcraft allegation at Nakbandaru in the Bankpuragu, Nakbandaru district. The suspects, including a pastor and 2 women, were paraded before the Nalirugu Magistrate Court yesterday, where they were subsequently granted bail to reappear on the 18th of this month. They were charged with assault and causing unlawful harm to a 54-year-old man for coming to the rescue of his mother, who was being held at a torture camp in Togo over the witchcraft allegation. Now, the case of the abuse and torture of the woman was, however, not before the court, as the police claimed investigation was slow because the incident occurred earlier.
Experts were said to have connived with a fake witch doctor in Barikosi, a Togolese Chakosi community, where the accused women were camped, but first, through hours of beatings and starvation, they were forced to confess before their relatives were asked to pay huge sums of money for a special ritual for their freedom and acceptance back into the Napanduri town. After the police and immigration officials in the district could not handle the matter, a relative of one of the accused women reported the incident to the Ghanaian embassy in Togo. The embassy sent a contingent of Togolese gendarmerie to raid the camp and arrest the fake priest, and the women eventually freed and asked to come back to Ghana. Upon their return, according to the police, the accusers were infuriated and attacked them and vandalized their properties for causing the arrest of the witch doctor.
Onuma be tuaguye susa ofiase onuma buye meneme nkwara obia o onumboye ama meniama me hyanyina etete o mso onuma atweme sa meti na eda fom na onum kita menan na edikan na meti de na edi echi meniama nyina atete
ye ba wo mse wo hini se o munchichi ensanko na uwa beye na utro obeye de wo mun babubu ye na wo mun fan ayi ahoma nchichire na wo mun fan ensanfa yenko na yesi sade yentimi yesa.
Among those the suspect attacked also include 54-year-old Dekoda Halidu, whose mother, Mary Dute, was among the women at the camp. Halidu was accused of being the one who reported the case to the embassy and was brutally assaulted into coma and his house destroyed. The suspects, who were subsequently arrested, were dragged yesterday before the Nalirgu Magistrate Court on charges of conspiracy to commit crime to wit assault and causing unlawful harm. Represented by a lawyer, however, the suspects were granted a bail to the sum of 15,000 Ghana cedis each, with sureties to be justified. The complainant, Halidu, was in court and spoke to Joy News after the hearing, recounting how he was nearly beaten to death by the suspect and pleading for justice to be served.
Within 5 minutes time, oh, this court there are not many. I say majority people, they just come, and as soon as one just hold me, they just start beating me. I was beaten from that 6 o'clock till 12 o'clock midnight before they just go and dump me somewhere, and they all went away. Now still, this my eye, I can't see proper. I can't see proper. That's what is paining me seriously now. And my neck, I can't turn. If I'm turning, I will be turning with all my body. So that's my problem now. And what they were doing in Nankwandu, it was so bad. If not because of this case, by now, more than 100 and some people will be there. Every day they will be sending 20 women, 12 women, 9 women every day. Well, I just want the judgment to be the proper judgment, if you can put it in proper way.
Halidu was, however, surprised that the police did not file any charges against the suspect for the false accusation, illegal detention, torture and extortion of his mother and the several other victims of the witchcraft allegation. In response, the acting regional public relations officer of the police, ASP Robert Anibik, said investigation was ongoing in collaboration with the Togolese authorities, while serving a strong warning that the police will not tolerate any form of violence against witchcraft allegation victims.
In fact, it is very disheartening that you are working, you have your mother who has raised you from childhood to become who you are. And then one day somebody will just come and say, your mother who has taken care of you all this while is a witch. Or your grandmother. I mean, so we are appealing to the people within this area to stop labeling people like that. If you are sick or there's a problem disturbing you, if you have a God, pray to your God. Don't blame an innocent person for your wounds. That is all that we are trying to tell them, because if they continue to do that, we need to try to use the law to bring them order.
The case, adjourned to the 18th of this month, is being presided over by His Worship Abdul Baki Abdullahi. From Nalirgu, Ilyas Sutanko reporting.
For about 16 years, young women from northern India told their suitors, "No Loo, no I do," and they got the deal. Figures for toilet ownership increased considerably as men scrambled to lure brides into marriage. Now, the slogan made women scarce for those who didn't have a toilet facility. Billboards, posters, radio shows, and painted slogans on buildings were among measures to inform and educate men. Now, this helped India to become open defecation free in 2019, with every household now having access to a toilet. At the 32nd Mole Wash Conference in the Ashanti region, Ghana's Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Cecilia Abena Dapa, proposed the same strategy to curb open defecation in the country. Joy News Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin has more.
Imagine walking into your lady's house to seek her hand in marriage, and you are being rejected because you do not have toilet facility in your house.
If you're a young lady getting married or engaged, and the young man has no toilet in his home, don't agree. It won't be well.
It is quite embarrassing and frustrating to see undress in public places just to ease themselves, something that is part of human life but we never plan for.
This is one of the strategies used by India to achieve open defecation free. Will it actually work for Ghana?
So I think it's good for the parents to ensure that the supposed husbands of their children or their girl child gets toilets in their homes.
The repetition of the slogan was warmly applauded by the participants. It appeared the deputy ranking member for Parliamentary Select Committee on Works and Housing and Vice Chairman for Parliamentary Select Committee for Sanitation and Water Resources had the same thought prior to the conference. Their submissions were identical and the support for the minister's proposal the same.
Young ladies who are here, when you get home, tell the rest. If a young man wants to marry you, the slogan we are living here with is no toilet, no marriage.
It is the best thing if I have a young girl today in my house going out to marry. I will first of all find out from the young man whether his house. You don't need to have a water closet. You can equally build a small whatever in your house. Then from your bedroom you walk into it, make yourself fine.
Many participants at the 32nd WASH conference smiled at the proposal, especially when the minister emphasized don't agree.
Don't agree.
It's a story that's often told in rural Ghana, where the roads are not too good, and so transportation to the nearest health facility is often a problem. For such areas, nurses like William Kwamotu of the Amate Chips compound at Kwehu Amanfrom, moving from community to community to offer sometimes life-saving medical care, are heroes without capes. A video of William delivering the pregnant woman of her baby, which has gone viral, shows how he tried to give his patient some level of comfort by having two women hold a cloth over her. William Motu gave a detailed account of the story on the AM show.
The client is our own client. She comes to our clinic for antenatal care. But then when she came, she was supposed to go to the TBA government hospital. We actually referred her to TBA government hospital for further assessment. Then she will come back with the results. So if we have to continue care from the village, we let her know. And if she has to go and deliver in the hospital, we communicate that one to her as well. But unfortunately, when she went to the government hospital, she never returned back to the chip compound. We never saw her until 1st of November, when she was rushed to the facility with labor. She was in labor. So when she came, the condition has gone worse. Initially, when she came, the BP wasn't that much, but she had edema, and it was moderate. But when she came back to the labor, everything had escalated. Yeah, she was having edema all over the face, the feet, even the abdomen, and the abdomen too had grown big. And the BP was very high. The BP was 240, 140. So we had to refer her. We arranged for transportation, but unfortunately for us, the only means of transportation here is motorbike. So we arranged for a motorbike for her to be transported to the government hospital. So when they set off, I just felt like I should follow these people because her condition and the road and the motorbike, I just gathered some few things, then I took a different bike and I followed them. So in the middle of the road, there was contraction, it was coming and going, it was coming and going. So when we got to one particular point, the contractions you could see were very recurrent, should I say, like it comes and it was lasting. So I realized I had to do something about it. So I laid the cloth on the floor and asked her to come down. And I checked, I examined the cervix and I realized she was fully dilated, that the baby will come out in, let's say, a few seconds. So I did the delivery, cut the umbilical cord, and delivered the placenta, then dressed the woman and the baby, then put her back on the motorbike. Then we continued the journey to TBA government hospital.
Now, school-going children in the Techiman North District of the Bono East region would heave a sigh of relief after the Member of Parliament for the area, with support from the Helping Africa Foundation and Friends of Yamaransa Foundation, established a 50-seater educational lab aimed at promoting ICT literacy in the area. Now, the move, according to the MP, Elizabeth Ofosu Ajare, would help promote girl-child education as well as contribute to the reduction of teenage pregnancies in the district. And Sabit has more in this report.
The study of information and communications technology has over the years been a challenge for school-going children in the Techiman North District of the Bono East region. The district entirely has no running facility that aids the study of the subject, and as a result, children within the area perform abysmally in the BECE exams. Today, The Tiobanum community is privileged to have a new robotics and ICT laboratory built by the Member of Parliament of the area with support from the Helping Africa Foundation in partnership with the Friends of Yamransa Foundation. The project, which is aimed at providing an opportunity for students to expand their knowledge in STEM education through practical experience, is being managed by implementers who are also partners to the project. Kafui Prebia is the Chief Executive Officer of Tech Aid and Project Manager for the Yamransa model.
This is the 10th lab that we've built that has these specifications. So there are two 24-seater labs with one for the teacher, making a 50-seater lab. And then there is also a training room or a conference room. There's also a maker space, which is like a robotics center. So that place has 3D printing facilities. It also has Legos, right? Legos for programming. The kids are learning how to do programming. It has some Arduino boards also for programming. Over 50 teachers have been trained on the robotics and the use of the computers. There are over 30 pieces of educational softwares. And then there is the Asanka device, which has all the content required for teaching and learning of the primary and JHS syllabus. It was developed by Tech Aid and is specially made such that children in rural areas can have access to educational content.
For the Member of Parliament for the area, Elizabeth Ofosu Ejare, the project will create an enabling environment for all, especially girls, whom, according to her, will help reduce teenage pregnancies in the area.
I'm excited to be the promoter of this project to bring technology very close to the doorsteps of my young people. I know and you know that in the 21st century, technology is the way to go. I decided to use this space to create a certain environment for them.
This is still Joy News Today with me, Mopita CBD. We'll take a quick breather. We'll be back with business.
Hello, I'm Dori Nando. You can catch up with all the fun on the Cosmopolitan Mix and on all our shows via podcast. Just go to My Joy Online podcast and search for your favorite show and relive those moments all over again. Only on Joy 99.7 FM, radio for discerning listeners.
Super Hits Radio, Joy 99.7.
And in business, it is estimated that by 2030, Africa will be home to the world's largest workforce, with 375 million young people entering the labor market. Hence, with the right skills, young people will improve their lives and the lives of their communities, contributing to Africa's overall competitiveness. In this regard, the Design and Technology Institute, a world-class TVET training institute, has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Takrady Technical University to strengthen the implementation of precision quality training towards excellence in measurements, standards and specifications among learners in the TVET space. Now, the overall goal of the MOU is to help produce top-notch professionals in the TVET sector capable of executing critical works and product deliveries beyond any limitations and impossibilities. And Nathalia Kwanzaa has the rest of the story.
MOU with the Takrady Technical University forms part of Design and Technology Institute's collaborative strategy to work with stakeholders to reach the objective under the Transforming Youth TVET Livelihood for Sustainable Jobs project. DTI, in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation's Young African Work Strategy, seeks to enable 3 million young people, particularly women, to access dignified and fulfilling work opportunities by 2030. That's according to the Chief Executive of the DTI, Constance Elizabeth Swanika.
So where you sit as a university, the charge to you that the 16,000 plus students that you have, your mandate is to embed in them is a culture and a mindset of excellence. And that begins with the faculty. And so today, the signing of the MOU was just the beginning of the signaling of what we call the beginning of the movement.
The Vice Chancellor for the Takrady Technical University, Reverend Professor Frank Eshen, was very happy about the collaboration with the Design and Technology Institute. He added that the MOU would go a long way to address the issue of precision quality facing manufacturing industry as far as international quality standards were concerned.
We are trying to work towards the excellence
in the excellence, we can't do it alone. We need to collaborate with the industry. So this morning, we are signing, an MOU to begin the process. We are going to also try and roll out some curriculum that is precision quality. That is the hallmark of what we are going to do now. And then we see that excellence in our products, in our students, when they go out to the world of works. So that is what we are going to do now.
The Western Regional Minister, Dr. Kobna Oshreda Komensa, welcomed DTI to the region and charged the university to leverage the partnership to train the next generation of human capital for the country.
I encourage all of you to make sure that the MOU succeed and the students who pass through the system also succeed. So it shows clearly that this is the only way we can get across the bridge. And I want to support you to make sure that this one works with your school and the system that you are generating for our young ones.
The Takrady Technical University is now the second model and demonstration center after Ho Technical University to roll out the implementation of the Precision Quality Program. For Joy Business, in Athalia Kwanza, Takrady.
The Savannah Agriculture Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research has introduced new varieties of the frafra potato crop to farmers in the Talansi and Nabdam districts of the Upper East region. Now, frafra potato is a common type of potato cultivated in northern Ghana for food, but also popular for its nice aroma when cooked. Upper East regional correspondent Abasari has more.
The frafra potato is a well-known food crop in the Upper East region and some parts of northern Ghana. It is commonly called peha or peesa in the frafra and kusasi areas of the Upper East region. The size of the frafra potato is not like that of regular potatoes. They are just about the size of the fingers of a regular adult human, or slightly bigger than that. Sometimes they are also somewhat round and the size of marbles. Traditionally, frafra potato is consumed mainly as a snack, just like people would do with granuts, but they can keep a person quite satisfied for long hours if consumed in a large quantity. Also, people love the frafra potato or peha because of its unique aroma, especially when it is still being cooked. Robert Babil is a farmer who has cultivated this crop for decades. It grows well on almost any type of soil, and when you harvest it, it is very easy to store. All you have to do is dry the potatoes in the open sun and store them in sacks, and they will last for a long time. When you cook peha together with fresh beans, it tastes very nice, and when you consume a small quantity, it makes you drink lots of water, and you don't crave for much food during the rest of your day. This special food crop has existed for dozens of years, maybe even centuries. Until now, the methods used by farmers to cultivate frafra potato was the traditional way, which involved using tubers. Savannah Agriculture Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research has in 2018 been working to introduce new improved varieties of the crop. The institute has identified the frafra potato as key to helping reduce hunger in communities. There are now 5 varieties of frafra potato which can also be cultivated using the stem cuttings. Here is Acting Director and Senior Research Scientist at the Savannah Agriculture Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Dr.
And Frafra potato has been one of our targets, one of the underutilized crops that has great food value and nutritional value, and also talk of medicinal. We are grateful to the project for giving us support to let the farmers get access to the 5 varieties that we released in 2018, and also the technology we developed to facilitate its production in large scale.
We'll take a quick breather. We'll be back with sports.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel Atto. You can catch up with all the fun and inspiration on the Joy Sports link here on Joy 99.7 FM, together with all other shows over and over again. It's very simple. All you need to do is go to myjoyonline.com/podcast and relive all of those fun moments over and over again. Joy 99.7 FM, your radio for discerning listeners.
Joy 99.7.
Hello everyone, time now for sports on Joy News today with me, Muftar Nabila Abdullah. Earlier today, the Ghana Football Association had a meeting with the Inspector General of Police, and President of the FA has called on the Inspector General, Akufo Dampare, to ask or help them eradicate what he says hooliganism has brought the image of football in the country into disrepute.
Over the years, we've had numerous engagements with the police service. And it is very true that sometimes members of the police force, because they are part of the community, becomes very used to the community, for which reason, when people go wayward, the strict application of the law becomes a challenge. Most often, we live within the confines of the sports facility, the stadia. So we are used to each other. We are friends. We eat together. So when we misbehave, we forget that the police service can act. At the end, we've had instances where football people, consumers of football, even use what we call pepper spray on police officers, and they go home scot-free. I believe that when people misbehave at our game venues, when they go wayward, it's important that we bring them to book. It's important that we push them to learn to behave well, and it's important for everybody to understand that our law exists and laws can be enforced in our country. For which reason, my IG, I will respectfully ask that the CID department of your unit become more engaging, especially when we have people who go wayward in the sport. In most recent times, IG and your team, match fixing has also reared its head in our football ecosystem. Last year, we had some bad incidents, and I remember making my way here to the police headquarters to meet the CID boss. And I'm happy to say that we had a good engagement, and investigations are ongoing to ensure that people who joke with our businesses, people who go wayward, are brought to book. I believe that the platform that your good self have created for our football members will be fully utilized.
And the IGP indicated to the clubs that if you fix the matches, the police will fix you. Let's talk about Ghana Premier League now, where Chief Executive Officer of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Nanaya Amponsa, is urging supporters to show good behavior as they make a return to the Bawayara Sports Stadium this weekend. Kotoko will host league leaders Bechimi United at their original home ground for the first time in about 20 months. Nanaya Amponsa is entreating fans not to flout the 25% capacity directive set by government.
All excited about the fact that we are going back to Baba Yara Stadium, and it's unfortunate we have only 25% at the moment. Now we need to prove to government that we are capable of maintaining decorum, we are capable of maintaining sanity, and discipline at the Baba Yara Stadium. So I will urge all of us that even as we go to Baba Yara, we are only capable of hosting 25% of the capacity of the stadium, which is 10,000 people. This is a stadium with 40,000 capacity. We can only host 10,000 people. So we should not jeopardize the opportunity to remain at Baba Yara, because if we go overboard, we have sanctions from the authorities. We may have to move our home away from Baba Yara. I don't think anybody wants that. Then again, if we don't maintain sanity there, we don't observe the protocols of COVID-19, then we'll have government and powers that be on our heels. And at the end of the day, we may not be able to justify that we are capable of maintaining that law and order, and therefore it should allow many more people to come to the stadium. So I'll plead with all of you, in as much as we want to have all of you there, we can't. Because even if the full capacity of the stadium is allowed, we can only get 40,000 in there.
That is the Chief Executive Officer of Asante Kotoko. Match day 2 of the Ghana Premier League kicks off this weekend, and it starts tonight as Accra House of Oak comes up against Wafa. Kumasi Asante Kotoko play Bechem United on Sunday. On this note, we say thanks very much for joining us for sports. I am Muftau Nabila Abdullahi.
What's up, guys? My name is Sammy Forson, host of the Weekend City Show and Ignition right here on Joy 99.7 FM. Well, anytime you happen to be busy and you miss out on your favorite shows right here on Joy FM, here's what you can do. Log on to myjoyonline.com/podcast. Just go on there and you'll find all your shows on demand 24/7. There you can catch up. Remember, Joy FM remains your radio for discerning listeners.
And in showbiz, this coming Sunday, Joy Prime Explorer takes us to the Western region, where host Kojo Youngson discovers tourism's best kept secrets. A small village that has one of every type of tourist attraction that Ghana has to offer, from wildlife to water bodies, and the most beautiful fort in Ghana. Here's a sneak peek.
Water bodies, beaches. Now, what if I told you there was a place in Ghana, a village, where you would find at least one of each of these attractions? Well, nestled on the western coast, just 45 minutes from Takoradi, is Princess Town. Originally known as Pokesu, Princess Town is a small coastal village with a big history.
Simple. In addition to a bottle of Coke and a bottle of Casapreco and a bottle of schnapps.
Sunday at 6 p.m. on the Joy Prime Challenge. But in Ghana's music industry, the name Reggie Rockstone is synonymous with hip life. Indeed, he's considered by many as the first to have introduced the genre in Ghana, even if some think otherwise. He's also known as the grandpapa of hip life music. Reggie Rockstone serves as a source of inspiration for many old hip life artists. Today, Joy Entertainment celebrates him for all the work he has done, and he expressed his utmost gratitude to the team today on the AM show.
It's amazing. I mean, people are literally treating it like it's my birthday. You know, it's crazy. My children congratulated me. My wife, of course. I mean, from all over the world. You know, I'm getting hits from superstars, like Hollywood superstars are hitting my phone saying, "Congrats, Reg." I feel really, really honored and touched. You know, because for a very long time, the narrative was always, "Oh man, when they gonna give you your flowers, Reg? When they gonna give you your flowers, Reg?" And it just popped out of nowhere. So God does work in mysterious ways. On this note, like I keep saying on my Instagram and on my Twitter, in Sembondi, I'm trying to get 1 million views for Move Faster. That's all I ask for you. You know, I need 1 million views from Ghana today on Move Faster on YouTube. I want everyone to go and stream, purchase one hip life tune. I put out all the classics, Makan, Mena Mekaya Mekala show registration. And young people on my month because those days when that DJ is no payola like. And you know I'm anti-payola, so then Obama Baswa. That's all I need, you know. I got family and school fees to pay, my brother. So, and if you know the realities of show business in Ghana, you must really know I sacrificed so much. You know, I didn't have to be here. I left a great story in the West, and I came home as the Pan-African that I am, and I stayed here. I intend to live and die here.
And that's where we draw the curtains on Joy News today. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Mapita Sibidi. Stay tuned for Marketplace.